Hi, I'm Carrie Martin, Environmental Sustainability Planner at NJIT TAB, and I'll be your host on this how-to on climate resilience. Extreme weather events like heat, storms, drought, and wildfire damage infrastructure and property and disrupt daily life. Over the past 40 years, extreme events have become more frequent and intense. Brownfield site owners and brownfield communities should be aware of the challenges that increasing extreme events pose to their sites and communities. EPA defines brownfields as properties whose expansion or redevelopment can be complicated by the presence or potential presence of contamination. Community exposure to contamination is further complicated by increasing and intensifying extreme weather events. In 2017, Hurricane Harvey inundated multiple brownfield sites in Houston, Texas, and potentially exposed residents to toxic pollution. Unaddressed brownfield sites are susceptible to repeated damage from extreme events. Structure and infrastructure damage can threaten the environmental and public health of communities by potentially mobilizing or exposing contamination. Residents could be exposed to hazardous substances if flooding is severe enough to release underground storage tanks and compromise above-ground storage tanks. What is climate resilience and how does it protect communities? Climate resilience describes the ability to anticipate and prepare for climate threats, respond to extreme events when they happen, and then recover quickly with minimal social, economic, and environmental damage. Folks often describe resilience in terms of not only bouncing back from natural disasters, but bouncing back better. You build resilience by taking a step back, assessing the situation, and then seeing if you can rebuild in a way that during the next storm, there is minimal damage or there isn't any damage at all. For example, if a building on the coast has flooded every major hurricane, you want to see if you can install a stormwater pump station nearby, build a flood control system, elevate the building, or move it to a safer location. Now, let's explore how to redevelop a brownfield site so we can make it and its surroundings more resilient to flooding. Here we see a potentially contaminated brownfield site, a closed gas station. The site and its adjacent roadway experience flooding because it's covered in impervious surfaces. And the stormwater infrastructure isn't adequate for the storm event. There's nowhere for the water to soak in. So, how can we redevelop this gas station for resilience? First, site cleanup is necessary to remove the contamination that could move during storm events. The EPA recommends adding stormwater infrastructure that redirects the stormwater offsite. Potential off-site stormwater management solutions include bioswales and pervious pavement. Overall, the site reuse plan should minimize exposure risk. Green infrastructure can and should be considered when redeveloping a brownfield site. It utilizes landscape features to store, infiltrate, and evaporate stormwater to reduce the burden of storm events on local water infrastructure. But green infrastructure has benefits beyond stormwater management. It can also be used to reduce the negative impacts of heat waves. Other examples of green infrastructure that a site could benefit from include green roofs, rain harvesting, rain gardens, and increased tree canopy. There may be some hesitation to implement green infrastructure on brownfield sites. Note that your state environmental agency will determine whether green infrastructure is appropriate for your brownfield site. This depends on the level of contamination or cleanup that has already been performed or is needed in the future. Another example of how a brownfield can be revitalized into a resilient space is Liongate Park in Bloomfield, New Jersey. Liongate Park used to be a thread and scientific glass factory. Until recently, it was a vacant brownfield in a residential area. The site has now been redeveloped with a resilience park, with a soccer field, recreation area, and permeable parking. Liongate Park also included wetland restoration. Beyond providing community recreational opportunities, the site is now designed to absorb 10 million gallons of floodwater. The solutions exist for creating a more sustainable and climate-resilient future. Whether it's through the use of rain gardens, green roofs, or increased tree canopy, there are experts like myself that are ready and willing to help communities find solutions that fit their needs. For more information on how NJIT TAB can help you and your community, visit www.njit.edu/TAB. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out our Brownfield Academy's website and subscribe to our YouTube channel.